see. You guys can hear me on there. I'm actually working on my desktop using my cell phone for live streams, probably for the next 2 days. I'm actually going to be working, though, not talking to you guys much. That's the reality of the situation. Let me try to find... oh, you know what I can do? Can I do a search for copyright-free music? Can I do copyright-free music? I think I can. Where would you do that at? You would go to YouTube? Let's see if I can pull that up. Excuse me for a second. Just because I am working on stuff for the MVPs all day. Let's try copy, C-O-P, copyright-free music, hip-hop. Is there a playlist out there? Royalty-free. Shorts. 1 hour chillin' vibes, lo-fi beats. Copyright-free. Can we found it, 189 videos. Hip-hop, no copyright music. Play all. Let's hope that works. And let's see what we get. Maybe we'll get some music we can work with. I won't be looking at the chat much to talk to you guys. I'm just working. But I appreciate you guys for being here. Let's see if we got that right. Yeah. And then we'll do UFC results while we're here. Ooh, I meant to do my draft results for the Falcons today on YouTube. Let's do that. We'll record that. You guys can see it be one take. You just won't be able to see the screen. Let's talk about it. Let me double check some stuff. Boom, 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 boom. That don't matter. That can stay. That don't matter. That can stay. Your channel? Nah. Let's not do that. Let's go to the studio. Let's close that out, close that out, close that out. We double check the mic. Mic check 212, 212. How do you do? I'm chilling, y'all. One guy said, why is your stuff not loud enough for me? Because I turned it down, bro. I'm doing what I do. Mike. Is it Happy Hump Day? What up? Let's go look for a picture real quick for the thumbnail. Falcons draft, 2025 draft picks. Images. We will start with this class right here. Boom. We'll save images as. It's a web file, so then we need to go convert that. So we're going to go over here. We have a favorites page saved. It's called Free Web Converter, Web to JPEG Converter. We do that, and we change it to a JPEG. And that's because you need JPEGs to be your thumbnail on YouTube, or else you get an error. So, and you can also use it on Twitter as well. So you just go and convert it. You just do a search online, Google, I don't know, converter, free JPEG converter, and it'll come up. It has limitations. You can only do 10 a day, which is more than enough for me. Another thing you can do is when you do a search for videos, when you do a search for pics, you can actually, if you right click on the thumbnail, it will give you an option to save it as a JPEG versus a video file or some other type of file, JPEG large file, something like that. So you can get it if you use the thumbnail. So if it's a high quality thumbnail, that doesn't hurt either. But let's get to talking, bruh. Let's talk about these Vikings real quick, or Falcons. We're doing a Falcons draft review. Let's keep that up. Mic check 212, 212. All one take, let's go. All one take, let's go. Yeah. Just a reminder. Let's go to playlists real quick. There it is. Let's go. Mic check 212. Hey YouTube, Rico Knows here. Going to talk to you guys about the NFL draft. If you weren't aware, I break down every single draft class every single year, and I put them on TikTok and I put them on YouTube. So in this particular case, if you go to the homepage, click on the playlist tab, you'll see it right there. 2025 NFL Draft Reviews and Assessments. I'm breaking down every single class, and I'm going alphabetical by city. This is only the second video I'm making. I already did the Arizona Cardinals. Now we're on the Atlanta Falcons here. And if you look, the Atlanta Falcons only had 5 draft picks. I have a love-hate relationship with this particular draft class. I know a lot of Falcons are excited about this draft class, or at least Falcon fans. I'll tell you why I'm excited and then why I'm not, kind of inverse or whatever. But let me take you guys back 1 year. So last year, when the Falcons were drafting, I believe it was 7th or 8th overall, they had the option to go and get the best defender in the draft. They could have taken anyone because no defenders have been drafted up until that point. They were signing Kirk Cousins, so it made sense, go get the best defender possible. Maybe a kid from Alabama, maybe another superstar from here, whatever it is. And instead, they drafted Michael Penix Jr. And I'm not here to say it was a bad draft pick or not or whatever, but it just didn't align with what you were doing as a team. Now, they were giving each other high fives. They were all about it, and they made their pick. And then they tried to recover the rest of the draft, and they didn't quite recover the same. If you watch their defense last year, it was slow. There wasn't enough depth. They lacked star power, if you will, on the defensive side of the ball. So here we are. They go into this draft, and you can see it here. ESPN said they needed to address the edge, defensive tackles, center, safety, and wide receiver. They said bump that. We're only going to address 2 positions, essentially. Okay, essentially. So let's talk about it. They knew they were picking 15th in this draft, and they took Jalen Walker at 15. Now, some of you guys are pretty excited about Jalen Walker being there at 15. If you look at the calculator, if you look at ESPN, they talk about it. There was a 1% chance that Jalen Walker would still be on the board at 15. So when they were evaluating players, they didn't really think Jalen Walker would be there. So they were ecstatic he was there, and they drafted him. He's a local kid, and they thought he was going to go higher. Now, I'm going to tell you guys the truth. When I did my draft evaluations, if you want to see my rankings, I do podcasts on YouTube. It's on the live tab. Just go to the homepage, click live tab. You can see the edge and the linebacker podcast. And when you see the linebacker podcast, I talk very directly about Jalen Walker's assessment as the number 1 linebacker in this draft. I disagreed with it completely. I watched the tape. This kid Carson here was way better on tape. So where did we get this Jalen Walker number 1 ranking? Why does everybody have Jalen Walker number 1? Well, it's because when you read pre-draft publications, whether that be charts or mock drafts or anything, when you read that stuff, they're doing their best to somewhat project the NFL draft. They're doing their best to get it right in draft position. This is why they create things like way too early 2026 mock draft, or they'll go out and they'll talk to an NFL team and they'll find out this particular NFL team really likes a player. Therefore, they will rank the player accordingly. Let me give you an example. Dan Morgan, on the staff with the Carolina Panthers, he is on record for saying, we love Jalen Walker. Jalen Walker's our guy. The minute Dan Morgan said that, everybody moved Jalen Walker into the top 10 prospects because they know the 8th pick in the draft is going to take him. So now we got to pretend like we knew this guy was going to be elite. So we moved him into the top 10 prospects in the draft. He's one of the top 10 players. There's no way he's dropping out of the top 10. All the sports books follow suit. You can start betting on whether or not Jalen Walker is going to be drafted at number 8 or otherwise. And if you looked at the odds, it was crazy. It was like minus 2,000. He's getting drafted 8th overall. Why? Because we heard from the front office of the Carolina Panthers, they love this guy. No one else felt that way about him. No one else agreed with it. And when I watched the tape, I didn't agree with it. So I didn't drink the Kool-Aid. I said, yo, we're not in Jamestown. I'm not doing this. I'm not believing this hype. This is a man with 1 year of production. This is a guy who didn't impress me. He's a tweener. You can't be 6'1", 240 and an edge rusher in the NFL. You can be a linebacker who they bring down to the line of scrimmage, and you can go get after that quarterback on 1st and 2nd down. I get it. But it's not ideal. It's not prototypical, stereotypical. It's none of those things. It's going to be an overachieving linebacker who's effective in pass rushing, which is fine. You might even have case studies for it. You might have previous players that have done this before for the staff, and I know this, okay? So some of you guys are going to quote some shit and come back to me and be like, Rico, I saw this and I read that. Listen to me. I watched the tape. This is not the number 1 linebacker in the draft. But if an NFL team said they're going to take him at 8 and they lied to you and they got you believing all that, the smoke and mirrors, here we are. Colston Loveland went before this guy. 2 tight ends went before this guy. Okay, so what I'm trying to tell you is once the Panthers didn't draft him, it was about to be a monumental free fall. No, you don't got to trade up to get him or anything. No one wants him in the top 10, top 15, except for the Falcons. When they saw him still on the board, they're believing the fool's gold. Oh, my God, this is a top 10 pick, and he fell to us. This is great value. Straight up Walmart. And I'm not there. Personally, I'm not there. More power to them. They're excited for getting a guy locally. I'm sure they watched him a ton of times with their local scouts and whatnot. But this is not the guy for me. Now, in this process, you had to believe that they thought James Pierce Jr. would still be on the board at 15. Listen to me, at 15. So when they were picking and making their moves, they said, yo, we're probably going to take James Pierce Jr. at 15. Then their pick comes up at 15, and they don't have to take him. They go, there's Jalen Walker, we'll take him. Now they're letting the draft occur. And we're getting towards the back of the first round, and they can't believe their eyes. The guy that they wanted at 15 is still on the board. And I'll tell you why he's still on the board. This man has significant red flags. Some of you guys don't care about red flags. But I'm telling you right now, as an employer, as somebody who employs people in this world, I'm not hiring you if you have red flags. The NFL is a job, and we're hiring you, and we're investing in you. And teams decided he's not worth that fifth-year option. Remember, first-round draft picks, their contracts are guaranteed. They have a fifth-year option, which means they get paid a significantly amount of more money, a sum of more money in that fifth year. And it's one of those cases where is it warranted for James Pierce Jr.? Now, if you remember the too early for 2025 NFL draft charts, the mock drafts, James Pierce Jr. was the number one player in the whole draft. 24/7 Sports and On3 try to tell me he's the number one player in the world. And I never believed that hype for 1 second. Go watch all the charts. Go to Twitter, search for them. I never bought into that nonsense for 1 second. And then he goes out and has a very substandard year. And when I say substandard by his standards. It wasn't the number one player. The production wasn't there. So we have a traditional pass rusher. Now, I like the pause. I'm not going to say it all at once, but his size is nice. His size is prototypical. His size is ideal for an edge rusher. So I get the appeal. But in my pre-draft analysis and preparation, I talk to players. I talk to teammates. I talk to ex-teammates, players from the transfer portal. I talk to coaches. I talk to scouts. And when I concatenate all the data and all the information, what got back to me? Well, Rico, he has a personal handler. Rico, he got in a fight with the strength and conditioning coach. Whether these are true or rumors, I'll never know. But I'll tell you this. One bona fide fact is he was arrested. He was arrested for driving without a license and speeding and all this stuff. They dropped the charges. He worked his way through it. But I don't like players that get arrested. I don't like them in the first round. Find me another prospect that's not getting arrested. That's all I'm saying. You need to invest in players, significant amount of money, 5 years and millions of dollars. Give me a player with no red flags. That's all. That's how I get down. Rico, you're racist. No, I'm not racist. I'm advocating for a different player. Be as black as night. I don't care. Give me something else. Don't give me a criminal. Don't give me a problem. Don't give me a cancer in the locker room. And I read the reports. One of the GM for the Falcons said, we spent a lot of time with JPJ making sure he's the guy for us. We spent a lot of time with him making sure he's the guy for us. And we believe in our culture. We believe in our surroundings to help get him on the right path. What the fuck? The audacity of NFL coaches to think you can fix someone or fix a problem. They do it all the time. One guy will get cut, kicked out of a team here, and then they'll sign him. Oh, he'll be good for us. We'll make it work. No, you won't. Oh, don't worry, Rico. Coaches got it figured out. You know, it's going to be a no-nonsense. It's going to be zero tolerance. So even if he messes up, they're going to give him the boot. Like, shut up. You sound so ridiculous. You ever been on a dating app trying to date a girl? Let me tell you, when you meet a girl and you go on a first date and you realize you're going to have to spend a significant amount of time with her before deciding whether or not she's a keeper, it's probably a bad first date. You probably got a bad first impression, and you're dealing with riffraff. It's not going to get any better. Trust me, toxic girlfriends make toxic wives. Toxic college players make toxic professionals. Now, I hope James Pierce Jr. is all they ever dreamed of. And he better be, because these guys traded back into the first round to get him. And I think it's a terrible draft pick. I think the premise that you traded back into the first round, after watching him drop, you decided we're going to trade back in and get him. Sometimes you got to let other teams make the mistake. You don't have to be the one to make it. Other teams can make the mistake. When I did my pre-draft rankings, James Pierce Jr. was one of the most highly rated dudes out there. Look where I put him. I put him 7th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I very clearly said in the podcast, undraftable. Can't draft this guy. Him or Mike Green. I'll put him here, but I wouldn't draft these dudes. I like some of these other guys more than him. I'm not doing it. Neither one of these guys. Red flags for sure. Can they play football? Sure they can. But I'm not investing millions in them. You don't get to wear my jersey, my brand, if I'm the team owner. You don't represent me like that. You guys ever been around a hoe? You ever been around a trick, bro? I'm being serious. Y'all ever been around a trick? You can't give her your last name. You can't let her walk around with your jersey on. She'll embarrass you when you're not around. That's one of the ways you find a keeper. Is you find a girl who represents you when you're not in the room. You find somebody who carries themselves in a respectful manner when you're not around. That's like one of the greatest traits of all time. But man, when you're a teenager and you see a baddie with a fatty, what do? Oh, I don't care, man. I'm with her. We're on the dance floor. What do you know? You're on the dance floor. Another dude's grabbing her at the bar while you're looking the other way trying to get her a lemon drop. I'm that other guy. I pull so many girls standing next to a dude. He's holding her hand, buying her drinks. I'm pulling her by the end of the night. What you going to do? Chris Brown talked about it forever. Go pick any song you want. My point I'm trying to make is if you can't find a keeper in the first round, don't pull the trigger. Don't do it. And I feel like they paid too much. Now, the Falcons are going to tell you, we only traded away our first round pick from 2026 to get the 2025 guy. So we're using our first round pick this year. No. You also gave up a 7. You also had to move up twice in the third or move up in the third to get your safety, which is an incredible pick. But you ran out of picks in a hurry, and you didn't address all your team needs, right? ESPN came out and said you had team needs. You didn't address all your team needs. You just got 2 edge rushers, and that's because you over-evaluated edge rushers. You knew you were going to take edge rushers, so you sat down and you broke them all down. And then when your big board got out there, you said, oh, these guys are the best available players because of how you valued edge rushers pre-draft. Second year in a row, I think the Falcons front office is really struggling to understand how to draft in the NFL. Seriously. That's how I feel about it. They're struggling on how to value certain players in the NFL. They're hoping they hit it right. But that pick last year for Penix was just out of place and obtuse. And here, trading back into the first round to take James Pierce Jr., who was dropping catastrophically because nobody wanted to take this cancerous type person, this red flag oriented person in the first round, and you go and you make a foolish decision and trade back into the first round and give up a ton to get there. That's absurd to me. Okay? Now, second day of the draft, they get really patient. And they get the move of all moves. They move up about 5 spots. They knew they had to move ahead of the 49ers. Shout out to 49ers. They watch all the content. They drafted every guy I value. They knew they had to move ahead of the 49ers and the Raiders to get Xavier Watts. Now, Xavier Watts falling to the 3rd round is insane. If you're watching the live draft, I couldn't believe that Jonas Sanker had fallen that far. Shout out to the Virginia safety. And then Xavier Watts falls this far. Both of those young men are exceptional players. I've been talking about them for years. And Xavier Watts is a bona fide starter. Like James Pierce Jr., to me, he's in the rotation. He's not a starter. He's in the rotation. Xavier Watts on the field every single play for you. There's nothing wrong with this guy. It's not Will Johnson taking a shot in the dark. No. This is a bona fide starter. Stud. And you could just sit back and wait and only move up about 5 spots. I give this pick, and I don't give grades or anything. I'm not a teacher, right? Unless this is an A+. All you fucking nerds just making up metrics. This is a great pick, though. A phenomenal pick. Shout out to them. And I think this is proof that patience is a virtue. Like, just sit back and wait. Let the players come to you. Great pick. Excuse me. Then the next pick in the 4th round. I have to imagine when the 4th round started, there's no way they thought Billy Bowman would be there on the board. I think they had the 15th, or no, there it is, the 16th pick in the 4th round. There's no way they thought Billy Bowman was going to fall that far. Now, I've been watching Billy Bowman since high school. I think he's an exceptional player. They started telling me stuff before the draft, like he's got small hands. Look at this. His hands are small. Shut up, bro. Shut up. Dude, when you watch him on tape, he is breaking on the ball before his teammates. And he's got other NFL teammates out there. He's breaking on the ball before his teammates. You know why you do that? You know how that happens? You study tape. So you know the play and the alignment and the down and distance and the hash mark. You know all of it pre-snap. And you know the tendency and the likelihood of this happening. It's a great feeling. When I watch the tape, I watch so much tape on these guys, I start to learn the opposition. I start to learn what they read. And as I'm watching, I go, oh, hell yeah, Billy Bowman's got this. And he makes plays like that. I think he projects, it says safety, he projects as a nickelback. He projects as a terrible band, as a nickelback. I think he can play the nickel there and eventually become a starter for the Falcons. And to get a guy of that caliber in the 4th round, pretty nuts, bro. So I really like that pick. Not as much as Xavier Watts, but it's still very, very good value at that moment. And then we go to the 7th round. You gave away all your picks. You overtraded and overvalued things. You couldn't address all your needs, so you go to the 7th round. You get Jack Nelson. Jack Nelson starting 4 years at Wisconsin. Don't get me twisted. I was about to say Nebraska. At Wisconsin. This is a young man that started at guard and then eventually moved to left tackle. No, they don't need a left tackle. He's been starting there, I think, 3 years at left tackle. But it's pretty neat to see a guy that was starting, and even though there was a coaching change at Wisconsin, he still impressed Luke Fickell and the boys, and they didn't replace him, and they let him start. At 6'7", 314, he's athletic and nimble enough, almost like a dancing bear, because you're a former guard, now you're playing tackle, you can handle those edge rushers. I think he's great depth, and they don't need him to start. They got a guy named Matthews at left tackle who's going to be the starter, obviously. So now you just got depth in the 7th round, and with only 5 draft picks, they're all going to make the final 53. I think they really are. So then they had to go and win, and we'll talk about it. People said, well, Rico, how'd they do in the 8th round? And if you don't know what the 8th round is nowadays, the 8th round is undrafted free agents. Well, undrafted free agents, they signed some players that I'm pretty excited about. Yes, they took a swing at Nick Nash. Okay, they already have Drake London, who's very Nick Nash-ish, but it's a poor man's Drake London. They have David Sills V. Shout out to him. They value some of these guys who are just kind of whatever. They don't move the meter for me. Some guys that I think move the meter for me when I look at the tape is a guy like Nick Kubitz here. They signed Nick Kubitz. He's a left inside linebacker, but he's a middle linebacker. Looks like a Viking on tape. Was the middle linebacker for North Dakota State. He has dealt with some injuries, so there's a problem there. But when he's healthy, Nick Kubitz can play football. I like that guy a lot. Okay, I like him a lot. My favorite safety in the draft was Malik Verdon out of Iowa State. He was literally my favorite. I'm not making this up. Like, I don't just say random stuff. I can show you. Pre-draft rankings, my favorite safety's up here. And my favorite safety was Malik Verdon. Did not get drafted. He's my favorite. That doesn't mean I think he's top 10. I'm not crazy. It's just the guy I enjoy. When I watch the tape, he's my favorite dude. I'm pulling for him. And they got him. Remember, I told you, J.J. Roberts is going to make it on the Buccaneers over Shiloh Sanders. Well, I got Malik Verdon making this team. I really hope he does. And if he doesn't, he's got to catch on the practice squad. But I want to see that guy make it in the NFL. So I'm pulling for Malik Verdon. That one's pretty exciting to me. And then everybody's talking about Kobe Bryant. Oh, my God, we got Kobe Bryant. I just told you, Billy Bowman projects as a nickelback. Kobe Bryant is not NFL caliber. I hope he makes it for all the fans' sake. But did they win in the offseason or anything like that? I think they just struggle with identifying and staying focused on what they need. Yes, you evaluated a ton of edge rushers. You didn't need to take 2 back-to-back. But this is all derived from your mistake last year when you didn't take the best defender in the draft. And you could have. And you should have. But instead, you wanted to take a backup quarterback. Or your quarterback of the future, excuse me. So they always draft like they have this big grand scheme and plan. But what's the big grand scheme and plan? Because you're a GM and you're giving away picks for the next year to get picks this year. And it's not players that are worthy of those picks. But that's my breakdown of the Falcons. I thought they did well in the 3rd and 4th round. I'm more excited about some of those picks with Billy Bowman and Xavier Watts. The first 2, I get it. You needed to find somebody. But for me, it's not the gold that you think it is. Like, maybe it is for you guys. It's just not for me. Remember, I evaluate every single draft pick every single year. I'm going to miss on some. And then some I'm going to knock it right out the park. And you'll be here 2 years later, and you'll go, oh, my God, Rico was so right about this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. And I think this is one of those moments where I'm going to be right. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. Peace, y'all. There we go. That went well. It's a one take. You can't turn. Hey, I can't turn one into a housewife. That's for sure. Shout out to Lewis Henson. Roll Tide Roll, brother. You know Mike Tomlin is like that if he thinks he can change troublemaker wide receiver. You know, I think they don't evaluate wide receivers correctly. I think they actually just don't evaluate them. So they sign players and then they find out after the fact they're prima donnas. They sign players and then they find out after the fact, oh, whoa, they don't fit in here culturally. And that could be Pickens. Who's the other kid who they got rid of? You know, I forgot his name. The kid from, I think it was one of the directional Michigans. You guys know. What the hell's his name? Clay, was it something with a C? Something with a C. Claiborne? No, it was Claiborne, right? Something like that? I don't know. Give me a second here. Who am I talking about? 2025 NFL Draft Review, Atlanta Falcons. Let's go. Rico Knows provides a complete review on the 2025 Atlanta Falcons draft class. Let's pick a thumbnail. I saved it beforehand. Chase Claypool. There it was. My bad, y'all. Chase Claypool. Your favorite. My favorite. Chasey. People get mad when I do these, bro. You know why they get mad? Because they're fans. They don't want to hear any assessment that differs from them. They're fanatical about their team and no one else. So they're convinced they made no mistakes. You ever seen a fan, just say their team made great draft picks all the way around, and no team has ever made great draft picks all the way around? Like, there's never been a draft class that was 100% flawless in the history of the NFL. It's never happened. But they'll talk like it happened this week, last week, every single team. I'll be right back, guys. I got to go grab a drink. Bear with me. It ain't going to take but 10 seconds. We only know him because it's Colorado, and you only post him because it's Colorado. We're in this together, bro. I actually posted that for Virginia, not Colorado. I see Lewis Hinton's little black thumbs up, bro. Lewis Hinton out here, give me the black thumbs up. Somebody went back and watched all the videos. He said, dude is clueless. Guy said, I'm clueless. I must be Alicia Silverstone. I'm clueless. Jim Irsay passed away, bro? At 65? Don't do drugs. That's what I wrote. Don't do drugs. People will be mad. I just let people know, don't do drugs. People get mad about it. All right, let's go. Twitter. My bad. We don't pull punches, y'all. No one should be dying at 65. You're doing drugs, man. Don't do drugs. That's it. People get mad about nothing, bro. All right, let's go. Falcons 2025 NFL Draft Review. Atlanta Falcons. First round. Who was in the first round? Jalen Walker. Second round. Oh no, first round. James Pierce. Third round. Xavier Wild. Fourth round. Billy Bowman Jr. Seventh round. Jack Nelson. All right, let's go. Hey Rico, went to high school with Mike Uni, guard at Georgia. Just curious on your thoughts with him. Love the content. No thoughts. Haven't evaluated him at all. Give me a second here. So I haven't gotten to offensive linemen this year. I'm getting to them right now. I'm on quarterbacks, but I don't believe he's even starting. I think. Sorry, I'm watching something on my TV. Yeah, so I haven't got to him. I want to say it's. Yeah. If he's in the too deep, I'll talk about it at some point. But we're talking about Micah Morris or what was his damn name? The guy Calhoun, Daniel Calhoun. But we'll get to that. I'll be right back, y'all. Got to go grab my drink. All right. It'll take about 2 seconds. All right. Next video. Here we go. Mic check 212 212 212 212. Uh. Mic check. Hey YouTube, Rico Knows here. I'm going to talk to you guys about this race, and then I'm going to get to the good stuff. But back in 1988, I was 6 years old. I was in Mexico. Shout out to Mexicali. I was in Baja California, which is below California. Baja California, below California. But I was visiting family for Christmas down in Baja California, and I was watching the Olympics. And I'll never forget this. Oh, I said Christmas. It was not Christmas. It was the summer. Wow. Let's start that over. 1 second. He's not starting. All good. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. How often are you releasing draft class reviews for each NFL team? Once a day. One per day, Trey. Okay, this is the second take here. Let's go. That never happens to me. Hey, YouTube. Rico Knows here. I want to talk to you guys about a fun fact, and then I'm going to give you a quick story time, and then I'm going to tell you what it pertains to in modern, I guess, history today or modern news, and we'll get to it. But the enhanced games. You guys know about the enhanced games? It's this new thing that they're coming out with where they're saying they're going to use steroids. I do not want to talk about this right now. I'm sorry. I'm watching a commercial. How do I want to frame this? All right. I don't know if any of you guys have heard about this, but there's something they're creating out there, and it's called the enhanced games. I want you to think of the Olympics, but they're going to allow steroids. They're going to allow HGH, anabolic steroids. They're going to allow PEDs, everything. And they said, let's just see what the human body can do. Now, the premise behind this is the organizers of the competition, if you will, they're saying, yo, we want to kill the stigma that steroids are dangerous. We want to stop that. And we want to show you how dangerous they aren't by allowing you guys to compete while you're all juiced up. And this sounds pretty interesting. And people are telling me, hey, Rico, man, they're going to break all the world records. We're going to see all this stuff. And no, they're not. No, they're not. First and foremost, what credible athletes are going to be competing at the enhanced games? I'll tell you right now, either aging Olympian level athletes or just some people on the fringe of Olympic level caliber athletes, but not the people competing for the Olympics. And the reason is they don't want to ruin their chances of making it to Olympics or world championships. And by the way, they're already drugged up. Like everybody already cheats in track and field. I want to take you guys back. It's a quick story time here to when I was 6 years old. I was 6 years old. I was in Mexico. I was visiting family for the summer down in Baja California. We were going down to a place called Mexicali, and we had family down there. And there was a 13-inch black and white TV, and we were watching the Olympics on. I say we, myself, and my twin brother. And I got to see this race. And Ben Johnson, who was already the world record holder, he had the world record the year before in '87. He goes out there and he beats the hell out of everybody in this race. Now, when I tell you he beats them, he runs a 9, I'm going to say 7-9. And this is the beginning of the race, because he eventually clears the race, clears everybody, and he just beats the brakes off of everybody. Breaks his own world record. And Carl Lewis was in second place in this race. And 3 days later, they disqualify Ben Johnson. He had steroids in his system. And they said, no, we can't have this. And they give the gold to Carl Lewis. Now, we know today, Carl Lewis was also cheating. He had failed drug tests leading up to this Olympics. Carl Lewis failed every drug test in the world. It's just that the Olympic Committee in the U.S. turned a blind eye to it and ignored it because he was the cash cow. So they just allowed him to cheat. And when he wasn't winning races, they were like, oh my God, we're cheating. How are we not winning races? Because everybody was cheating. You remember when Carl Lewis went out there one day and him and this guy named Powell, they were both long jumping over 29 feet. It's like the 10 longest high long jumps of all time took place in a 5-round back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. They just kept long jumping over 29 feet, and everybody's acting like it's normal. They're talking about its elevation. They're talking about, oh, they were really amped up. Rico, it was all the clapping. It was all the rhythmic clapping that got them really going. No, it's all the shots in the ass, bro. These guys were cheating. And there's a story on this from the Los Angeles Times, and I did a story on it about 2 years ago for a track and field video. And I talked to you guys about how our American heroes are cheaters. Steroids kill people. HGH kills people. PEDs kill people. Don't believe me? Go ask FloJo. Oh, that's right. She's dead. And they try to tell you it's from an enlarged heart. And she magically became the fastest woman in the history of the world over the course of like 18 months. And never ran that fast again. And then died in her sleep one night. This is not funny, man. These people are cheating. In this race alone, this is called the dirtiest race of all time. Every single one of these racers, every single one of them, except for 2, was caught cheating at some point in their career. So they were all juiced up. Only 2 guys didn't cheat. You see the guy right here in the yellow? He never cheated. He was from Brazil. Never cheated in his life. There's also another American right here. Calvin, never cheated in his life. He finished 3rd in this race after the disqualification. He ended up getting a bronze medal because of this. So Calvin Smith never cheated, and your boy from Brazil never cheated. Everybody else cheated. Linford Christie, whoever the hell else was in this race. Oh, but Carl Lewis, bona fide cheater. So if we already see Olympic level athletes cheating. They get on their cycles. They do all this while they're training. It enables them to push their bodies while they're training. And then they get off the cycle and they go out and compete. Oh, but Rico, Usain Bolt never cheated. Yes, he did. Usain Bolt cheated like a mother flipper. The Jamaicans stopped drug testing their entire country. They didn't have an anti-doping program. You know, like we got USADA and then there's WADA and all this. The Jamaicans had nothing. There's a whistleblower on this. This girl came out and said, oh, we haven't tested our athletes in 4 years. We don't test them when they're in country. They get tested when they get out of country. So you just take the juice the whole time you're training and you can push your body to its limits. Then you get off your cycle, show up, and just smoke everybody. It's outrageous. It's ridiculous. Why doesn't Jamaica do that anymore? Why aren't the 3 fastest men in the history of humans from the Jamaica island anymore? What happened? Well, they all got tested. They started coming clean. So what I'm trying to tell you is I don't think the enhanced games are going to have astronomical results. We already have cheaters and the best athletes that are cheating. This is just going to be some B-level athletes, maybe A minus athletes, but B-level athletes who are going to be cheating and they're going to be on something. It's a freak show. The enhanced games will be next May. They've already announced. I don't know all the events. I don't know everything, but I'd imagine people are going to want to see weightlifting. It's going to be on there. There's going to be weightlifting. I'm cool with it until we start getting chicks with you know what. Chicks with sticks can't fly, bro. So we better not. Look, the girls are going to use steroids. That's fine. But if they show up with their agenda, pushing that intersex nonsense, or having Adam's apple bigger than mine, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see something just swinging in between your legs because you wanted to be fast. Like, I don't want to get down with that. No freak shows here. Just show me some outstanding athletes who might be on the juice. It's like the home run derby a little bit. But don't give me chicks with extra appendages and everything. I'm cool with that. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. All right. Word. Let's post that. That's why YouTube content's the best. How often are you? Oh, yeah, I already read that. Thank you. Enhanced games. Who's excited about the enhanced games? Not me, bro. Not me, amoeba. Enhanced. If you don't know, when I'm on live on YouTube, I can't use music with words, so I got to play this stuff. It doesn't bother me. It really doesn't, but I understand. I won't be on TikTok live for a little while. So I appreciate you guys being here. I got all 5 of you guys watching me. That's cool, man. I'm a beast. Somebody will say, oh my God, Rico doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't get paid. Look at him. He gets no views. You losers don't know. You losers don't know. It doesn't matter if you watch me or not. It doesn't matter if you watch me or not. We still getting paid. It's a business model. All right. Now, next thing we got to do is go find our UFC picks. Let's go to Patreon real quick. For the last couple of weeks, we got to make a chart. What did I give to the MVPs? That's the biggest thing. What did I give to you cats? Ooh, Jack Sherman became an MVP. Oh, you know what? I could make posts. I got to create posts. Should I do NFL draft review posts? Maybe I should, because MVPs are going to... I'm going to do that because they're going to probably be betting on NFL games. They need to know the players. That makes sense. And it doesn't hurt to put a link up. Get a shareable link. Let's do that. And then we'll go in here. Let's go here. We'll click the link. Boom. See what comes up. Arizona Cardinals 2025 NFL Draft Review. Arizona Cardinals. We're going to make it free, though. Free podcast with NFL. And that shit's free. Public. And then we'll go another one. And this time we'll do the Falcons. Create a post. Falcons. Link. Channel. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. I'm just chilling, y'all. If you guys are here watching me, I appreciate you chilling. I'm not interacting much. I'm working. NFL Draft Review. Falcons. Atlanta Falcons. We'll go there and we'll go to NFL. Public. Boom. And then we'll go back, forth and forth. Let me see you go back, forth and forth. 315, is that what I'm working on? UFC 315, that's the card I'm working on. Let's see over here. MVP locks. No, not that locks. Let's get rid of the locks chart. We're on 2025, UFC 2025. This was 315, Bilal Muhammad. Is that what was there? Update full card predictions. That's it. How did we do? Let me click on this. Might not be good. I don't remember. Let's click this.
About UFC 315. I already did a video on UFC.
Okay, let's go to.
All week long. But I'm on vacation. I just came home for a 2-day little stint.
Okay, so I have all this here. Let's see if I did this right. Let's go to UFC 315 results. Go to the main card, more fights. Let's go look. First thing, if these fights are canceled, I'm on the main card. Early prelims. First thing. Bezcat beat Brad Katana. We got that red wrong. Jin Young Lee beat Daniel Santos? Or did Daniel Santos won? Final decision. It went the distance. Oh my goodness. We got all that wrong. Marco Antonio Barra. Oh, it did not go the distance. We got that wrong, but we got that right. Wow, we were on it, huh? Not good. And we got that wrong. We don't need to be giving those out. Sterling won. Prelim. Sterling and Modescus won. I wanted to pick Modescus so bad, but I didn't. Red. Then we got Jazz Vicious right and by points, right? Submission. Oh, we got that wrong. Green. Those are red letters. Mike Malott, we got right. Knocked that boy out. St. Denis. One submission. It did not go the distance. That works. Natalia Silva. Did she win by points? Yep. That was green all the way around. Let's do this. Those are white text. White text. Jose Aldo, best value, and he lost. We missed the hell out of that. And that ruined the night because then we missed the last two. Right? Shevchenko won and Magdalena won, and the other dude won. Oh, that was a bad night. Ooh. Locks, plus 103. Missed one of them. Boom, money line, Jazz Devicious and Malott. Won that shit. Manny Aldo missed it. Main card chalk, missed it. Round robin chalk, missed it. All right, so money line picks. Excuse me. Overall, this was UFC 315. Overall, we went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 5, 6. Not good. 6 and 6 on that card. That was not good. Let's see here. Then locks went 39 and 17. Only had 2 locks in the card. Leans, we had 0 and 2, 1 and 2, 2 and 2, 3 and 2, 4 and 2, 5 and 2, 5 and 3, 5 and 4, 5 and 4, and then 0 and 1 on value bets. 5 and 4, 47, 24, and then 0 and 1, 35. Parlays, shit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that considered a parlay? Yeah, it is 5. So we went 1 and 4 on this. This is not good. 1 and 4. 60. And then parlay props. So we had a green that went bad. I guess, should I count it? I'm going to count it there. So that went bad. So that went parlay or prop locks. Ooh, 1 and 1. 1 and 2. 41 and 39. Parlay prop leans. Parlay prop leans. 0 and 3. 22. Value bets. 2 and 0. Very good. Oh no, I missed those 3. 61. Props overall. 0 and 2. 0 and 3. 2 and 3. Two and 3, this doesn't count. 38. 2 and 3. 73. And 75. All right. So that's all done. Now what we do from here is we make a copy. Oh, we got to rename this. Rename UFC 315. Right? And then we go move or copy, create a copy, move it to the end, got it. Rename this joint. This is going to be Fight Night Burns versus Morales. Got it? Got it. All right. Fight Night Burns versus Morales. Sorry, guys, I'm working, but I see you. See how we're doing here. I gotta recreate charts and then do a results show. And I don't want to skim over anything. All right, so How do I know who is the favorite? Where do I go for that? Let me go to the Fight Center. Where's the UFC Fight Center? There we go. Pre-fight odds. Minus 200. Oh no, that's below Muhammad and them boys. Burns and Morales. Minus 500. Michael Morales. Gilbert Burns. Plus 350. My pick was Michael Morales. That was a lock. But I also said it was going the distance. It didn't. I did not say that was a lock. I thought that was a value bet. Then we had. Ooh, I told you Santos was winning this fight. Ooh, and I said he was doing it. What's Santos' first name? Miguel? No. Bro, how do I go forward? What are we doing? Forward. How do I go back? How do I go back again? Excuse me. Sorry, y'all. Marion Santos. He was the favorite, right?
You mentioned your what?
I mentioned my marketing with AI to create a hyper-personalized campaign in minutes.
I just MailChimp my orders by 7 times using real-time behavior data. I just added SMS to my multi-channel marketing campaign. Got 'em.
Mine.
Now my ROI is MailChimp. Awesome graphics. Better resumes, absolutely all work. With Adobe Acrobat Pro's super easy editing tools, you can quickly make updates right in the PDF without needing to find the original Word doc. Just click what you want to modify, and in seconds, all the recipes and images. Now go land that dream job with Adobe Acrobat. Start your free 7-day trial now.
Who's this Matthew? Connor Matthews. Victory by key lock. Luana Santos wins by a key lock. T. Lisboa. 140. Denise Gomes knocked this chick out. What up, Ash? Daddy's working. I'm sorry. Daddy's working. Oh my goodness. All right, let's go see what I had to say about this card. I don't remember what I said for all the picks, so we gotta go double check. I might have given out some props, some different colors. I'm not sure. So let's go find out. All right. Fight night. Made him free for the vacation.
Hey MVPs, Rico Knows here. I'm going to talk to you guys about the UFC fights this weekend. Unfortunately, I'm on vacation, so I'm going to actually make this video free. I'll be posting it on YouTube. I'll be posting it on Patreon, and I'll be talking about the fights the best I can. Just a couple things to remember. I don't have any of my notes in front of me. I don't have access to the videos of their previous fights like I usually do, and I can't see who they fought most recently. All that stuff I do in the lab while I'm doing the show. I can't do that here. So everything's off memory. Do your own research, and if you agree with me, then make the bet. If you disagree, then stay away from it or fade it. Some MVPs are better than others. Now, just a reminder, last week I missed on the main event and the co-main event. But for the haters out there, that means I'm 13-4 when predicting main events. The two best fighters, a genuine coin flip, and I still pick it right the majority of the time. Way above 50, 60%. So let's talk about these fights. First fight of the night, early prelims down there. Tisha Pennington, yeah, she changed her name to her wife's name. And Luana Pinheiro. Look, man, you don't need to be betting on Luana. It's a great value down there, but there's no way she's winning. She's on a 3-fight losing streak. I know that much. But I don't believe in Tisha to be winning at minus 340 either. It's just silly. It's an early fight. Sit it out. It's a women's fight. Who cares? Next fight, you got an undefeated Park against Carlos Hernandez. Carlos Hernandez kind of puts up a fight every single time, but not enough to win. But I'm not betting on an undefeated Asian fighter I haven't seen beat anyone. Remember, I'll pick every single fight, but not every fight's a bet. So I'm going to go ahead and pick Carlos Hernandez. I don't know if you should necessarily bet that value bet. Next fight is Reed and Gomes. JDC Gomes, kind of built like a dude. I'm pretty sure it's going to turn into a grappling match at some point, and there'll be either in a clinch in a 50-50 up against the fence or on the mat itself. I would probably bet go the distance. I'm pretty sure that's going to be somewhere in the minus 400 range. So you got to parlay it with something. I don't know what you want to parlay it with. Don't bet this money line, especially if you know a fight's going to the judges. Yeah, don't bet it. Another terrible fight up here, Luana Santos versus Lisboa. I don't understand the minus 175 for Santos. She doesn't really impose her will. She's a judo fighter, and she's got to get a throw. She's got no wrestling, no takedowns. Lisboa can actually scrap. I think she's coming off a layoff. I haven't seen her fight in a while. But she's probably a better fighter, and I think it's a decent bargain at 145. Do what you want with that. I don't know what type of units you're betting. It's your business. I'm just analyzing the fighters. But Lisboa seems like a decent flyer for sure. Nobody on this page is parlayable. Next fight, we got Yadir. Only saw him in the Dana White Contender Series. He's got no gas tank. He throws really hard. They're kind of wide looping punches. Connor Matthews has no chin, and I just watched him lose recently. Fought that kid from Arizona. I can't remember his name right now. I think it's Delgado. Jose Delgado? Yeah. So look, Yadir is supposed to win this fight. Obviously, he's a minus 500. Probably inside the distance. I like Connor Matthews. I just don't see how he wins. But don't be betting on undefeated debuts. Yadir's been beating cab drivers. You don't know what he's capable of. Leave that alone. I'm picking Yadir. Then there's a fight like this. I think it's worth a shot. So we have Jared Gordon versus Thiago Moises. Jared Gordon, the king of either getting robbed by judges or winning a fight and getting a headbutt. He's just not ever coming out on top. And then Thiago Moises will just piss you off because he's in beautiful shape. He looks like a fitness trainer of some sort and a world-class grappler, but he doesn't seem to really make it happen. In this particular fight, I think it's crazy that these odds are like this. I like Thiago Moises to win this fight. That'd be the first value bet that I really think a full unit is worth your time. I just think Thiago Moises is a better fighter than Jared Gordon. Next fight, take Mateus. It's a minus 240. It's very affordable. You can probably parlay it with like Yadir. I don't know. If you find somewhere you want to parlay it to get it to plus money, you don't have to bet it heavy. I wouldn't go more than half a unit. But Gabe Green's coming off of a long layoff. He's not a terrible fighter, just not real. Mateus is a pretty good athlete. Remember, I don't like any parlays that have more than 2 legs. Next fight, Julian Erosa. Yes, he's been winning fights. A very experienced fighter. Typically, he wins with guillotines. And then we got Milky. I told you guys to take him last time, and we're doing it again. I think Milky can win this fight. Dude's dynamic. He moves well. Probably better on his feet as far as striking goes. Very affordable. I like the bet. Probably decent parlay down here with Mateus. Julian Erosa's not a punk. He's just not as good as Milky Costa when it comes to being a dynamic striker, handling the angles and just throwing strikes from awkward angles. It's pretty good stuff. I like Milky. And we're on the main card, by the way, that last fight. And then this one here. Nursultan is my lock. Given the odds, I think this is the best bet of the whole card. He uses great length. He knows what he's doing. And he can fight anywhere. I think he learned his lesson when he got fraud checked last year. Been going through guys, dominating them, and he's going to continue to do it. Remember, he's 6'5". Dustin Stolfus is 6 foot. Dustin's not a terrible fighter by any means, but Nursultan is the pick. You can do a couple things with that. You can make it a minus 320, so go bet your 320 to win 100, or you can parlay it with something you know that's going to land. Some MVPs are better than others. Next fight, I think we're getting a pretty good bargain here. Marin Santos, remember, I told you he was going to lose his last fight, and he did, so I was right. I thought he looked like a world-class striker against a scrub of a fighter. It led everybody to kind of misunderstand what's happening. He's fighting T-Rex. This time he's fighting this boy Yusuck, and you guys already know the deal. Sadek Yusuck can really throw things, but he doesn't. He can bang with the best of them, but he doesn't. Marin Santos is going to stay on the outside, kind of move around and dance and outpoint your man. Sadiq needs to pivot on his strikes and get in the pocket, and I don't think he will. It's a good bargain. No need to parlay this. No need to try to hit a lottery ticket. Don't do anything too crazy. But it's a solid 1 unit on Santos. It is. It's not a bad spot to put your money. Next fight, Rodolfo Bellato against Paul Craig. Guys, this Bellato guy, minus 600. Is Paul Craig missing his arms and legs? There's no way you can take the minus 600. I don't care if it hits. There's no way you can do it. You can skip this fight altogether, but the responsible thing to tell you is Paul Craig, Evie, all day. They're fighting at light heavyweight. Nobody's cutting weight down to 185. This is going to be a breeze for me. I'm taking Paul Craig at plus 400. You just have to. Now, how much do you put on that? That's your business, but Bellato at minus 600 is pointless. And then the main event, Michael Morales, undefeated, finds a way to win. He's going to beat Gilbert Burns. It's 25 minutes of fighting, a little scary. Listen, man, Michael Morales is not a finisher. This guy's become a decision merchant, so you're probably leaning towards over rounds. Gilbert Burns is not a quitter like Herbert, but he's also not going to win you any money. That minus 850 has priced me way out. I have no business betting on that. You don't want your whole night being ruined on the last fight of the night after you've been winning and doing things. So do not parlay this. Do none of that shit. Just sit there, and if you're up on the night, take half your winnings and throw it on Morales to win by points. Other than that, chill, bro. I'm just picking Morales to win. You don't need to bet it. That's stupid odds. Don't bet it. Just leave it alone. Gilbert Burns is not worth your money, and Michael Morales is not worth your money at minus 850. So there's no point in betting here. The real place to bets are down here, and just stop for the night. You don't need to get everything right. Good luck, MVPs. I'll be back in the lab next week, but pay attention. Down there, I'm taking Tisha Pennington. That is a lean. You guys know colors mean things. That's a black lean. Carlos Hernandez is a purple bet or value bet. Denise Gomes probably going to win, so we'll take that as a black lean, not a lock at all. Liz Bowe is another value bet, so that'll be purple. Yadir is a lean. Thiago Moise is a value bet. Mateus Camillo, I would make him, I'm going to leave it a lean. Milky's a lean. Nurselton Ruzaboy, lock. Santos, lean. Paul Craig, value. And then Michael Morales to win, and I guess is a lock. Long story short, if you don't know, you should know this. Locks are going to hit at some insane amount. It's not hard when you're hitting a minus 320, but it is in the UFC. I told you it's a lean. I get those right 66, 68% of the time. And if I told you it's a value bet, we only get those right about 42% of the time. Pick and choose wisely. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows.
All right, well, we got that figured out. It's pretty good. All right, we're almost ready for the results show. Give me a second here. Just got to punch some numbers in. Parlays overlay. Parlays overall. My bad. Parlays overall. I didn't do any parlays for this fight card. Parlay prop locks. Were there any prop locks? No. No. Prop leans. 1 and 1. 31. 23. And then value bet. 62. Overall, I went 1 and 2 on those. 74 and 77. All right, calculator time. Let's see. Calculator time, because I don't have these formulas set up. It's all good. It doesn't bother me. It's just a couple extra minutes. A couple extra seconds. 41 divided by 58. 70.69%. That's what our locks are hitting at this year. 70.69% so far. 52 divided by 77. 67.53. $25 divided by 42, 43, 63, 39, 39.68. 31 divided by 91. 34.07. 41 divided by 79. 51.
You mentioned your what? I mentioned my marketing with AI to create a hyper-personalized campaign in minutes. Oh yeah? How MailChimp generating more revenue using predictive segmentation?
90.
Yes, MailChimp and why?
31 divided by 54.
Using real-time behavior data. I just added SMS to my multi-channel marketing.
57. We just bombed on those.
Mine?
Now my ROI's through the roof. That's pretty cool.
29 divided by
So high.
91.
That's MailChimp-nificent.
31.87.
It is MailChimp-nificent.
Intuit MailChimp, the #1 AI-powered email marketing and automation platform.
And then 74 divided by
Your MailChimp I did.
151. 49% even. All right. All right, buddy. Oh, last thing. Overall, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 4.
I used my drum set and the instruments, and I recreated all the sound effects to the scene where they're cooking up some soup. From the moment I uploaded this video, I just feel that something was a little bit different. It was insane. I was 25 million views on Instagram.
All right, bro. We don't care.
What to do.
We don't care who you are and what you did. All right. Enough of that. Now, time for results show. All right, give me a second. These kids are funny, bro. Oh my goodness. All right. All right, let's go. Mic check 212. Hey MVPs, Rico Knows here, doing a UFC results video. Yes, I'm several weeks behind. I'm going to do 2 results videos in one, and I'm only doing this so we have future reference and I can remember what I said about these guys post-fight. Now, full disclosure, I didn't watch all the fights. I didn't have time. I was on vacation and hanging out with my kids. If you remember the fact, I was on vacation in Orlando for a week, buying my oldest daughter her first car, watching my other daughter win a volleyball tournament. Then I drove all the way up, I think it was 12 hours, to Baltimore, just north of Baltimore, watched my other daughter win a basketball tournament, was hanging out with her for the week, and then I took off to Hawaii for 9 days, showed my girl and my dad a really good time, and now I finally got home. So it's been a hectic month of vacation time. In that process, I tried to get you guys content, tried to get you your videos and your picks, and do everything like normal. Obviously, it wasn't as in-depth, and then I didn't get to do the live streams. We'll get back to that this weekend. But there was a pay-per-view card, and you can see it here. I did not buy it. So I didn't watch anything on the pay-per-view side of the house. I will go back and watch them. I will get to it eventually. But let's talk about it. We're going to talk about the whole card in its totality. Once again, not stressing the bets, mainly the analysis on what I thought was going to happen and what actually happened, so we know that for the future bets. But if we pull up this particular fight card, let me pull it up. It is right here. UFC 315. End of the night, pretty bad. Went on a run there on the prelim, but end of the night, really bad. Got some of the props wrong, things like that. But let's go talk about the fights and we'll learn from it. So, Brad Katana versus Bezcat. I told you guys Bezcat hasn't fought much, but he is a knockout artist. He's knocked out a ton of people, and it looks like that's what the hell he does. Now, I told you to take Brad Katana because I knew he was a known commodity. I trusted him, and I thought we were getting pretty good value on him. Now, the odds weren't in our favor, and the results were even worse. Brad Katana lands 1 strike in the whole fight. I didn't see it, but how the hell do you only land 1 punch and get knocked the hell out? That's what kind of night it was going to be. It started terribly for us. So shout out to Bezcat. I won't disrespect you again. I'll go back and watch. I can actually watch it here. And these are the prelims. I can watch them. Next fight, Daniel Santos. I told you I was taking Jiang Young Lee. Didn't really want to. Daniel Santos was coming in, and he wins every single round, 30-27. A ton of control time. Takedown after takedown after takedown. 18 takedown attempts is absurd, and he lands 6 of them. It's still good enough, and he just outworked this Jiang Young Lee dude. Cool story, bro. Shout out to Daniel Santos. Looked impressive. I'll go back and study it, and I'll watch it, but we need to know he's got a relentless motor, and he went out there and shot 18 takedowns, which is insane. Probably the best value of the night. I don't remember what I told you was the best bet on the card. Let me pull it up and find out. Oh, I told you best value was Jose Aldo. That's not cool. But let's go look here. I got some of these wrong as far as are they going the distance or not. Marc-Andre Barrios goes out and wins victory by elbows. I knew he was going to win. It's not just because it was in Canada. It's because Bruno Silva's not real. I don't believe in him as a fighter. There's nothing impressive about him. He hasn't been good for about 6 years, bro. I don't buy that, okay? I'm not with Bruno Silva at all. I'm just not. He's Macklemore to me. When was he ever good? Okay? I'm over here with Marc-Andre Barrios. Next fight, Navajo Sterling. I've told you I don't believe in this guy's knockout ability. Like, they tell me he's a knockout artist. He's at City Kickboxing out of Australia. They tell me he's a professional striker and all this stuff. But when I watch him fight, he lands 124 strikes on you and he doesn't knock you out. We're going the distance. This is the second time in a row now. He's been a huge favorite, and he still doesn't get the finish. I don't like going to judges' scorecards, even if you win 29-27, even if you win 29-28. Yes, I said that right, 29-27. That's what it was on one scorecard. But even if you do that, I can't get down with you because I don't trust judges. So this young man needs to figure it out and become a killer. I'll go back and watch it, but don't like the odds every time we see Navajo Sterling. At some point, we're going to fade him. Then there's Ian Kudalaba. I'm not the Hulk against Modestas Bukauskas. I watched this fight. I was watching it with some of the MVPs on the Discord server. I wasn't live, but I was commenting during the fight. And I just was not impressed with the way Ian Kudalaba was fighting. He did not impress me at all. I thought he lost every single round, and then I hear the scorecards. Somebody gave him 30-27. Somebody gave him the whole fight. That's wild to me, man. So when you have one judge going 30-27 one way, the other 30-27 the other, like, that's just fraudulent. That's scary. Scary stuff. If you thought he won because he outstruck him the whole time, that's cool. That's cool. I wasn't mad. I didn't think we got robbed. It was just, ugh. Now, some of you guys are screaming robbery. I'll go back and I'll try to watch it again, but I didn't scream robbery when it happened. Jasmine Jazz DeVicious wins by submission. I thought it was going to go the distance, but we knew Jazz was winning. This was a lock on the card. Did I switch it off of a lock and make it a lean? I might have. That's on me. It was a lock all week, and then I moved it off of the lock. Obviously, missed the prop again. Props have been going ice cold recently, and we'll talk about that. But money line, getting 4 out of the, 7 prelim fights, right? Not bad. And getting these pairs like this works if people are parlaying the pairs. I know I had the Canadian parlay there. Jazz DeVicious, Mike Malott getting you minus 115 money on the money line. And I just knew they were better than their opponents by a significant margin. And that's why I parlayed them together. I also wanted you to be in plus money at the end of the prelim so you could sit out the main card. That was the agenda there. So I went ahead and gave you a prelim parlay of Jazz DeVicious and Malott and said, go make that happen. I like Mike Malott at minus 210. I feel like he's a much better fighter than that. Charles Radke's not real. Charles Radke goes out there and gets knocked out in the second round. And Mike Malott, although he's not high volume, I think he's very deliberate with what he's doing out there. So I appreciate him for what he is. I'll go back and study it again, but I'm only going to really study why Charles Radke couldn't impose his will. Why wasn't he effective in any way, shape, or form when we got Mike Malott doing a little bit of everything, right? Throwing some kicks, throwing some strikes, and eventually getting it done. I like this kid. Remember, he was on a tear until he got fraud checked. So you're getting these odds like this. This shouldn't happen. He should have been a minus 400 favorite. So I really like the value on that, and it paid off for us. Next fight, late fill-in, Kyle Prepolek. I told you guys it's not going the distance. Don't even worry about this. It's a minus 1,500. It is what it is. That dude is not a real fighter, and Benoit Saint Denis better go break him. And he did. He got an arm triangle in the second round. Congratulations. One of my favorite bets on the whole card. Told you guys, put your money right there and trust it. Natalia Silva's a different type of fighter. She's not going to get taken down. She will not accept takedowns. So now you're looking at Alexa Grasso, the only accidental champion out there, if you ask me. But she's just not going to get it done. She's not athletic enough to impose her will, and Natalia's just going to keep moving, and you can't hit her. And that's exactly what happened here. We're going to keep moving for 15 minutes and go out there and win the fight. It's never going to be for knockouts. She's not ever going to stun you and hit you, but she's going to look flashy and appealing to the judges for sure. So she wins this fight 30-27 on every single card. I'm not surprised. Love the pick, love the bet, love the fight. And then we got this one. We lose. Jose Aldo retires. Didn't get it done. Zahibi out here winning. Okay. Canadian. Outworked him. Got it wrong. Sometimes I miss. That's real. Assessed it incorrectly. I did not think Ayman Zahibi was going to beat Jose Aldo. I just didn't. And he did. He beat him in every aspect. So it is what it is. Then we get to the championship fight. Pretty boring stuff. Farah just not where she needs to be. Yes, 7 minutes control time is there. But when you see a girl go out there and not be able to get her takedowns, as big and strong as she is, could not get her takedowns. 1 for 12, could not impose her will and just beat her up. Valentina Shevchenko did not deserve to lose her belt by any means, so she goes out there and she holds on to the belt. Now, some people will be upset about this and say we got robbed. I don't feel that way. I feel like Farah, if you want to beat the champ, you got to take it from the champ. I didn't see that, so Shevchenko gets it done. And then I didn't have the courage to take Jack Della Magdalena, JDM. I understand what's happening here, and I talked about this with one of the MVPs. Bilal Muhammad was able to go out there, close the distance with his striking, and beat the hell out of Leon, right? Leon Edwards. So when you do that to a guy, when you go out there and you punk him, and you do it with your striking, and then you're close enough to get your takedowns and ragdoll him for all 5 rounds, you have a different strategy. And then you go into the next fight, and you think you can impose that strategy with somebody like Jack Della Magdalena, who's not going to let you do that. You don't get to go in here and do your takedowns and control me forever. No, I'm going to bang with you, and I'm going to hurt you. And you saw their faces. They were swollen. It wasn't pretty, but the man outworked them, outclassed them, and he looked great doing it. So shout out to JDM for winning. It hurts to go miss at the end of the night, especially on the main fights. But remember what I tell you guys every single fight card. You don't ever want to be betting against the best fighters on the card. Don't bet against the best fighters on the card. You're trying to guess these right. You're going to get them wrong because the opposition is some of the best fighters in the world. It's way different when you're betting on something like this when it's not one of the best fighters in the world. Okay? You just have to get away from that desire to bet on the biggest fight on the card every single week. Get away from that. Stop betting on the Super Bowl and start getting some of these other games right. Okay? Burns and Morales card ended much better. We ended the night much better. I hope MVPs figured it out. I know some of them did. They reached out to me in the DMs, showed me how they flipped their units and made a ton of money. They only bet 2 fighters. Some of them only bet these 3 guys right here. They went in here and they bet these 3 on the main card, and those MVPs are fucking awesome. I like those guys. But let's go talk about the card in totality. So the next fight, I'm going to go in here and pull it up. Burns and Morales. It was a fight night last week. Scroll down. First fight of the night, Tisha Pennington. I told you don't even bet on this fight. Just ignore it. But I also told you that if I had to pick one, I'm picking Tisha Pennington because I don't see how Luana Pinheiro wins the fight. And when I watched it, I didn't even think Luana Pinheiro won a round, personally, just because I thought they were terrible fighters. Like, even when she was in charge or getting her takedowns and on top, right? Because she did 10 takedown attempts. 5 of them landed. She was even getting in control, and I said, it doesn't matter. Little Tisha was a little firecracker. A little faster than her. Speed advantage all the way, but doesn't really fight. You would see this little girl land 3-4 times. I'm in Hawaii watching this fight. I was live streaming it or smart casting it to the TV in the hotel room with my dad watching it on the couch. And we were laughing at Luana Pinheiro because she wanted to throw her combos and land them. But every time she went to throw them, Tisha Pennington was somewhere else. This little ugly looking little girl was somewhere else. So shout out to the speed advantage. Eventually outworking her and getting done. Wasn't that impressed with Tisha Pennington, especially as a minus 360 favorite. You got to go out there and win something. Now, let's talk about one of the most impressive performances I saw all night on the card. Young Sung Park, undefeated Young Sung Park, went out there and straight bullied Carlos Hernandez. First and foremost, they did not look like they were in the same weight class. And they both made weight. They didn't look like they were equivalent in any way, shape, or form. I'm talking about Young Sung Park was a monster. Great wrestling. Got the cauliflower ears going. I believe him. Great wrestling. Great takedowns. Control the fight. Whatever. But what really happened here is Carlos Hernandez got kicked in the body. And it did not. He never recovered from it. There was a body shot. He never recovered from it. He tried to give a poker face and all this stuff. No, he was hurt. And then he had a lot of quit in him. And this was over in the first round. Not a close fight. Carlos Hernandez is known as being a tough guy who can put up a fight and go out there and work. Nah. Young Sung Park, that dude's something else. He's a complete fighter. I saw no weak points. I'm interested to see who they pair him up with next and what kind of odds we get. Because these odds, this dude should have been a minus 500 favorite the way he looked in the cage. That's what he looked like, minus 500. Speaking of minus 500, Denise Gomes goes out and gets it done by knockout. I told you I'm taking Denise Gomes. I thought these are girls. They're not going to hurt each other. Elise Reed got hurt and wanted no part of this. Denise Gomes just went out there and beat the hell out of her. Takedowns. I told you it's going to become a takedown. We're going to get on the cage. There's going to be a clinch, but at some point there's going to be a takedown. And I trust Denise Gomes to be on top for those takedowns because Elise Reed is not very good with her takedown defense. What do you know? 3 for 3 on takedowns with 4 minutes of control time, and you still got beat to hell. Impressive stuff. Shout out to little Denise. Now, don't get me twisted. Don't get it twisted. Denise Gomes not a good fighter. That's just how bad Elise Reed is. Elise Reed is a house mom, or what is that called? A housewife? She's a soccer mom and a housewife who decided to go to the gym in her spare time. That's how I look at her. She's not a real fighter. Not imposing her will, not doing anything. These girls from Brazil, they're fighting for meat, bro. They're fighting for their food. It's something else. They're fighting for meat. Like middle schoolers. Okay, Luana Santos versus Lisboa. Now, I told you Lisboa was winning this fight, but I also said in the video, I said, she's coming off of a long layoff. Haven't seen her fight in a while, so be careful. And that, it comes out so fast, but I need to put a bigger emphasis on fighters who are coming off of long layoffs. They tend to lose. One of them did win on this card, but for the most part, they tend to lose, and we need to just stay away from them completely. Now, shout out to Luana Santos. She went out there and won this thing by key lock, which is absurd. Lisboa did not fight at all. She put up no fight. It's embarrassing. She didn't look like a UFC fighter. I think she needs to be cut. She didn't look like she was ready to fight. It looked like she was there collecting a check. Straight up welfare, the way she was getting her check. She was getting something for nothing. Really pissed me off. Luana Santos looked way better than she should have. And then we got Yadir. Yadir beats up Connor Matthews. Connor Matthews got no chin, got no ability to stay in the fights. You can't trust him. And he goes out there and gets rear naked choked in the first round. Yadir Del Valle. Yadir's the truth, bro. Oh, it's Del Valle. He's a Cuban. I didn't know he had a Cuban flag. Why did I think he was from one of them other countries? It's crazy. Why did I think he was from a communist country? Oh, you know what? Cuba. Oh. Okay, but anyways, Connor Matthews did not put up a fight, was not impressed with him at all. Obviously, only 3 strikes landed. He looked terrible. He looked worse than a plus 350. He really did. And Yadir went out there and handled his business. Shout out to him. Thiago Moises, I told you he's going to piss you off if you bet on him. I also said this is a place to put a full unit. Well, you're going to lose. You're going to lose a whole unit if you bet on him this way. His guy sucks, man. He used to be a world-class grappler. He looks the part and all that. No control time. You're letting Jared Gordon control you? You're letting Jared Gordon beat you up and knock you out? Jared Gordon might as well be 6-0 in his last 6 fights. If you go back and look, there's a mistake, there's an infraction of this, that. He could very easily be 6-0 over his last 6 fights. And Jared Gordon's kind of flipping the entire script on who he is and what he is. Unfortunately for him, he's going to get real opponents moving forward. But Thiago Moises has looked absolutely atrocious for 2 years in a row now. It's been 2 years of just the catastrophic downfall of Thiago. He might as well be Colin Kaepernick, because I don't think he deserves to be in any games ever again. Like, don't put him in the cage. That guy, he looks like he's in shape, and he'll piss you off because he doesn't bring the fight anywhere. Getting knocked out in the first round is embarrassing. Speaking of embarrassing, Gabe Green, a plus 175 underdog, 2-year layoff, comes out and finds a way to win. Now, did Gabe Green really outfight or outperform Mateus? I don't think so. But he did find a way to win. And that's just being a veteran. It's being crafty. As an older soldier, I found ways to beat my soldiers all the time. In workouts, in any type of competition, in a fight. And it was just years of experience they didn't have. I just kind of knew certain things they didn't know. And I could just beat them. That's how it works. Gabe Green went out there and schooled this kid and just beat him just by being a veteran, a grizzled veteran, right? I'm not excited for Gabe Green winning as an underdog because I didn't pick it, but more power to him. Go back and watch the fight and try to pay attention to the weak points of Mateus's game, because he definitely has them. Speaking of weak points, I told you Julian Erosa has been winning fights lately with rear naked chokes, with guillotines, and I don't like the way Julian Erosa fights. I don't believe in him. I won't pick him, and I told you go ahead and take Milky again, 2 fights in a row, 2 times. He has been out there, and I say this is the best value you can find. Milky was great value at minus 155. Shout out to Walmart. I love the way he fights, love the way he moves. Even though he was controlled, and even though he's getting controlled, he's just got more juice to him. And he's got that dog in him, and he's going to find a way to keep working those awkward angles. And I like Milky for it. So shout out to him, putting in the work, getting it done, and eventually finding a way to win. I'll take it every single time. I had 2 locks on the card. Here's my lock on the card. We had Nursultan Ruzaboyev. It's a favor. Thank you, giving us that minus 260. There's no way he was losing this fight. Yes, he lost the round. Well, according to one judge, he didn't lose a round, but he did. Okay, so he won by points, 29-28. He wasn't fighting a scrub in Dustin Stolfus, but Stolfus is 6 feet tall, and you're not going to beat a guy that's 6'5". When you get takedowns and you're fighting somebody 6'5", the way that works is like what you normally would do for sweeps, you can't do because his appendages are too long. What you normally would do for submissions or certain holds or locks or anything, you can't do because his appendages are too long. There are times he'll have an underhook and you don't realize it because his arms are so long. And his underhook, when you have a tall fighter, that underhook goes all the way under your armpit to like your upper clavicle bone. Like it comes way up. And then it's harder to pummel and get rid of that underhook. Just a lot of the nuances of fighting somebody much taller than you. If you're not a real fighter, you won't understand what I'm talking about. It's okay. The point is that's why you guys pay me. That's why I have this job. I sit around and I tell you, this is a lock. There's no way around it. This is a lock. Put your money where your mouth is. Best bet on the card. And I told you, go put a full 320 on this because it was 320 when I made the video. They say it was 260 pre-fight. If you saw these odds at 260 before the fight, you got to go put a full 260 on this and win $100. Go put a full 2,600 and win 1,000. Like that's how much I believe in Nursultan Ruzaboyev. It's a lock, and I wasn't wrong. Then we got Marion Santos, another great value because he lost his fight before this, right? So he lost his last fight. So now he's fighting Sadiq Yusuff. I call him Youssef here, and everybody starts trying to convince you, oh, Youssef's got a puncher's chance. He's got a knock. Everybody's got a knockout, and everybody's got a puncher's chance. I didn't believe it, though. Marion Santos is not a great fighter, but he's better than Yusuff, and he understands how to move and keep scoring his points. He's never going to throw anything to knock you out. It's just to kind of control the distance and the levels and the angles, and he's just going to keep moving away from that power hand. He circles well when he's defending. He's just a fancy kind of fighter in that regard. He does not want to make it ugly. He doesn't want to get in the deep end. Well, guess what? Sadek Youssef will never complete his strikes. He's afraid to fight in a phone booth. You guys understand there's projectile range. When you're this far away from an opponent, nothing can land. And from here, you can shoot one another, projectile range. Then there's striking range, when you're in range close enough to land things. And then there's grappling range. You're in a phone booth. Sadiq Youssef pretends he wants to be in striking range, but he doesn't have enough courage to land anything. So while he's throwing his strikes and doing his combos, it's almost like shadow boxing. He has no desire to land anything. He's afraid to pivot and land his strikes. He doesn't want what's coming back at him. So when you know a guy will not connect and land, you got to pick the other guy. Marion Santos will stay there in that striking range, and he's comfortable. People who are comfortable in striking range, they got real balls. Let me tell you what it is, okay? When you get comfortable in striking range, you do a couple things well. You roll your shoulders well. You got great head movement. You got a chin. Maybe you're Mexican like me, right? You can just go out there and you can handle what's coming back at you and you can bang. When you find out your opponent doesn't have the courage to be in dirty boxing range, to be in striking range, you can go out there and put the work on that guy because you know he's uncomfortable. And I feel like Sadiq Youssef will never be comfortable in that pocket. That's why he misses all his strikes. That's why he's not really committed to throwing his significant strikes. That's how I feel about it. So that's my assessment when I watch him on tape. Marion Santos, still just a point fighter, and I don't like that. I tell you, it's that George St. Pierre type of style where you're not out there to win or impose your will. You're just out there to try to win scorecards. And going to scorecards is a dangerous premise. It really is. You never know. You thought he won 30-27, 30-27, then a judge gave the other guy a round. Careful. They'll give him 2 rounds and you won't know what the hell hit you. But shout out to Santos. And we got those 3 right, and that was probably the pinnacle of the night. And then we end with the money line correct. But unfortunately, I told you guys, if you wanted to get more refined here, go put it on Morales by points. And I know some MVPs did, and he did not win by points. He actually wins by knockout. And that's because Gilbert Burns and Herbert Burns are straight kittens, bro. Pussy cats. Weak as fuck. Like, I can't stand Gilbert Burns and his brother Herbert. They quit. They got nothing in them. And this is a guy that landed 5 strikes. 5 strikes in a main event. By the way, when predicting main events this year, I believe I'm 15-3 or 15-4 on the year so far. We can double check, but that's where I'm at, I think. And I give those away for free every single week. So I just wanted to talk to you guys about the results. Yes, we have another fight card coming up this week. It is Erin Blanchfield and Macy Barber in the main event. Man, I love both these women. There's going to be a whole lot of bass in the cage and all that other stuff. There's some other interesting fights there, and I'm trying to figure out where I want to tell you to put your money and who to believe in. But as I look at it, this fight card sucks. But we'll get you guys your content when you need it. We'll get back to it, and we'll be live streaming this one for sure. It should be on ESPN Plus, if I remember correctly. There you go. Yeah, ESPN Plus for the prelims, main card ESPN Plus and ESPN. So it'll be on the Discord server. Come join us. You get on the stage. Enjoy the show for what it is. Remember, be an MVP. Be an MVP. Be an MVP. It'll change your life. Working on futures videos right now. Working on the talent chart for the MVPs. We're getting after it. That's what I'm doing every single night. Hopefully within the next week or 2, we'll start the futures bet videos. I've been doing a lot of research, and I'm ready for you guys. All right, guys. Stay blessed. Hope you like the results show. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. Peace, y'all. Hey, Rico. All the alcohol and drugs caught up to Jim? Yeah, man, that's what happens. Shout out to you. What up, TJ? He's not starting all good. Good work. Got to keep it going. So much shade at my Jets, though. Your Jets drafted terribly. Your Jets suck. Yeah, my bad. Oh, I just read that, and it's been there the whole time. My bad. My bad. I'm working, bro. All right. We are going to check the transfer portal once. I don't care what anybody says. I'm going to. My nose is running. Let's see what happens here. All right, we'll get this up. Sorry, y'all.
message of what? I mentioned my marketing with AI to create a hyper-personalized campaign in minutes. Oh yeah? I'm able to generate more revenue using frequent segmentation. No mention of marketing. It's no trip in morning.
I just mailed my orders by 7 times and take real time to get their data. I just had an SMS to my location at work.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at some of the shit I'm seeing.
Now, my ROIs through the big group. That's pretty cool. But I just matched my sense of so high, I see it could cry.
That's magnificent.
It is. It is magnificent.
Intuit MailChimp, number one AI-powered email marketing and automation platform.
Oh, hey, okay. No tip for marketing.
But your MailChimp idea.
Okay. Now it's time. What time is it? It's 9:30. I'm gonna work all night, y'all. We're gonna be out here. All right. So we need the results video. Create. Upload a video. Create. My bad, y'all. Desktop. Downloads. Videos. And then. Boom. UFC results show. UFC 315 and UFC Fight Night. Morales versus, who was it? Who's the loser he beat up? Burns. All right, that's fine. Results show. All right, now let's go get the talent chart. Where's my talent chart? 2025 talent chart. Let's go. We after some shit, y'all. Let's go look at it. Let's go Alabama. Alabama quarterbacks Ty Simpson, Keenan Russell, and Austin Mack. Those boys are trash. I believe those boys are trash. App State. Who's at App State right now? J.J. Cole, A.J. Swan, Billy Wiles, Matthew Wilson. Wow. App State got some bullshit quarterbacks. Is that how they're looking right now? Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Let me. App State spring football update. Battle of the Rock. Throughout the day, the defense made share big plays, including interceptions, of course. Goes to the back hole. Nah, bruh. What is wrong with them? What's their depth chart right now? Somebody give me their depth chart. March 25th. Let's see what they're saying.
How did Ella make her way to the top? It all started with one smart decision.
Stop that bullshit.
What? Hitting the field this week to begin spring practice. Our Cam Gaskins took a trip up to Boone yesterday to catch up with the Appalachian State University Mountaineers who face a big comeback challenge. For the first time in a long time, App State comes into spring practice not looking to build up a successful previous season, but trying to get back towards winning ways. And yesterday, we got our first look at the man tasked with turning things around up in Boone. Up on the mountain, the expectations are crystal clear. App State fell short of those expectations.
Who's Dow Logans?
First losing season since 2013, and just the second losing season for this team since 1983. Taking over a program that also didn't have the success that they wanted last year, and that's obviously why we're here. So this offseason brought about a lot of change. And this week, Dowell Loggins took to the field at Kid Brewer Stadium for the first time as the new head coach of the Mountaineers. And it's been a lot of hard work, but our guys have attacked it. Unlike some previous coaches, Loggins has no ties to App State, but his players say he's still bringing a Mountaineer mentality to this tournament. Competitive nation. So I think they're trying to bring the old App State mentality back, or the kind of new school flow. One of those new wrinkles is Loggins' decade plus of experience in the NFL, and he fully plans to bring that pro mindset to this program. When you talk the NFL language and you train like the NFL and you practice like the NFL, then I think it's an easy sell to get these guys to buy into the work you're asking them to do. As this team begins the work towards Week 1 at Bank of America Stadium, the expectation is that these off-season changes bring this program back to its rock-solid standards.
We want to bring the app back on top next year, so we're working hard, putting the work in now, so we're doing that.
One more change coming in this new chapter of App State football is the return of the spring game, which is coming back to Kid Brewer Stadium on
Another practice session in the books, and anticipation is growing among this team as the spring game is right around the corner.
They are excited about it. I know we started responses and told them they were excited about it. I know heard the whispers of the number of fans that got the tickets already. And I know that they're really fired up because they want to be able to participate for more fans. But they know the work ahead. They're excited to do what we are right now and continue to work the way they are each other. Right now, we're trying to establish the work ethic and the competitiveness and the connection part of it. That's what this offseason's for. So I'm excited about the way they're competing. But it's like also competition with yourself. That's about yourself. And you're competing against the defense. You're on offense. You're competing against the offense and on defense. And there's battles amongst the position groups, but also the biggest battles with yourself. I'm excited about the guys that their work ethic, their ability and capacity to work, to practice the way we want to practice, and I do deeply care about the guys in the locker room and those relationships and connections that have been made in 5 months. I told them the first day I got here, guys, you didn't choose me, that's your job. And that's what I messaged us. I want to make sure that we do right by these kids and that this program's been built on relationships and competition. And, this was been a lot last year, a lot of shared struggles, and just making sure that we're doing a great job putting in situations where resiliency matters and competition matters. But you also start to see guys' strengths and weaknesses. And we're in a profession where we got to maximize matchups, minimize weaknesses, figure out what guys do well. And I think the word is we're learning each other. We're connecting, trying to connect with everyone in our locker room. Whether you're a fifth year senior or you're a freshman walk on, we're trying to connect with everybody. And as every coach, every member of the staff, the support staff, like, connection is really important in this group, and we'll constantly work to build that. Some of us, we worked together before, there's also a lot of us that are brand new to each other. You gotta go through some struggles together, go through some hard times to be in a relationship and say whatever you want to that person. When they know where you're coming from, then that's when the relationship really starts.
Arkansas quarterbacks. Taylor Green, KJ Jackson. KJ Green. Taylor Green's good. I like Taylor Green. I think Taylor Green's really good. Let me double check something. Talent-wise, he's amazing. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Taylor Green's gonna have a great year. I think he's on point. Arkansas State. Jalen Raynor's him. There's no way you take off Jalen Rayner. I think he's an Army quarterback. What is this crap? That is trash music. All right.
That was a lot of fun, seeing the guys compete and being able to be out there in spring. Friday night lights in the middle of April is pretty good stuff. It'll rain you cool, but it was worth it. Didn't dampen our spirits, and it's fun to see those guys play competitive football. So, I had a lot of young guys that have never really been in that situation in Mike Stadium before, so it was encouraging to see them do that and have that experience. So, now on to the summer workouts. There's the spring summer workouts and the preseason game. They'll be here before we know it.
Coach, certainly Steve Washington, play well tonight. Steve Washington, I've got a number of workouts in the game. How do you evaluate them for that part?
I thought all those guys did some good things. It was fun seeing them in there. I thought both Coleman and Washington. I thought Kale Helms made some good plays. A couple times there late in his run for his life, but he made some plays being elusive to get away. Made a really nice run, so touchdown that the goal team had there toward the end. He just that kid finds a way to make plays in competitive situations. People call that a gamer. He probably is. He just finds a way to make plays. I thought all those young guys really tried to play hard and ran the ball hard all night. And me and my band, we run two guys up. They weren't a red jersey, so gave those teams a chance to run the quarterback, and that certainly adds an element for offense. And Zach Rendell, it's great to see him back out there again. He got hurt in this game a year ago, and was out all last season. So kind of happy to see him get out there and do some good things.
How do you go
I'm really encouraged with that group. Obviously, lost three good players for starters off the offensive line, one Joe Moore Award. And whenever you lose, whenever a team loses a veteran player that's played as much as those guys have, and that's so much to success, it's hard to lose guys like that. But I do feel that guys like Appleton and Will Jeffco, those guys are better players, and they've been around, been in the program, and they've been working and preparing. And I think they're going to be a good group. I'm excited about that unit. They're well coached. Coach B and Coach Black should do a really good job with them. And so obviously, there's more opportunities to develop and get those guys ready to go. And we'll take full advantage of the practices we've got preseason camp and leading up to the first game. But I think that's got potential to be a really good group. We'll get some better players. And the guys like Casey Larkin and Donovan Platt, Jaden Mays, the two inside linebackers, Fortner and Thomas. We've got a number of guys back for those of you guys like that. But I'm confident that we can have a good defense and that we can be a good run-stopping defense, which is where it needs to start. Guys like Jack Couture and Cody Harris Miller, one of the better players to play. In addition to guys like Jack Dawson, who didn't play a year ago, he's had a good swing. I think there's enough guys who can play good defense. So we're going to have to play very fundamentally sound. We're going to have to play really hard. We're not going to be as big as people we play. Collectively, probably as athletic as anybody we play, but I think we can still play good defense. And so I work put in, but we'll give us time to run first. Most of my guys were out tonight with injuries. That gave some of those other guys opportunities to get in there. I really like Jaden Walker. I've been busy with him tonight, carrying the football. Aiden Self also didn't play tonight. He's injured. He's had a good spring. Excited about him. Trey Jumbo. Some good days ahead of him as a slot back. It's not a group that's loaded with experience, but I really like them players that are coming up. Trey Benson, not lightning fast, but just elusive. A lot of times he gets pitch on the perimeter, just has an act of making people miss, makes our guys miss. Maybe won't make anybody else miss, but he's been able to do that some. And it's not like any of the players. He's a physical kid, so I think that's a good group of guys. And that'll sort itself out. Kind of who's going to be in the traffic unit. Logan and those guys. Sebastian Shannon is playing as well right now. Going to senior years, he has been here, so he's going to add some depth for us, and that's good. I'm encouraged by that. Yeah. He's just really explosive. He does have good top end speed. But he's got, you probably noticed tonight that he handles the ball and he gets a brace. He's got really good explosiveness. Got good feet. He showed some balance tonight, which was great to see. The first run we had broke some back, was over to the right side, and then he tackled the corner unblocked. And he was kind of stumbled a little bit quickly and regains balance. And that's not something that you can learn in practice. It's just, I think it's an ability that probably the guy has who doesn't have. Just get good balance. And I'm excited about him. He's just right now, he's a depth player. There's a number of guys at that position, and they're all different. They're going to be able to help us, but he's different. He's different. He's a change up. Where you got kind of more rugged guys like Dave Medina and Carson Smith. I think Caden Reed and Joel Bisson are very similar in their skill set and their run style. And Prince is just different model. But you can line him up and then the race and be the fastest guy. And probably, be best in a 5-10-5 show or something like that. That's the quickness. He probably be as quick as any other. He's just not big. There's some guys in transition. So Grayson Baker moved from tight end over there, and he's just a big long body right now that needs to gain a lot of weight. That's a change for him. But I think as he develops, it's going to be a good move for us. Kale moved from the dog routes on that position to the defensive end. And another guy that needs to gain weight, but really, I think he's moved a lot this spring and just kind of finding his way at that position. It's not easy from the good side. Have to play those kinds of blocks when you're taking on tight ends and dropping pass coverage. Jeff Bowser didn't play last fall. He was hurt, so he's back, and I'm really excited about him. He's strong. He's moving really well. So I'm encouraged by that. We just basically only do a sophomore year now, so that's a big addition for us. There's other guys that probably going to find their way into that position from the outside linebacker positions. That's kind of natural progression. You move closer to the ball, closer to the line scrimmage. Guys going from safety to linebacker, guys going from outside linebacker to defensive end. So we make some of those moves, and sometimes it's exploratory, trying to figure out if they can make a difference there. And sometimes it's on me. We're just trying to position these guys at the spot on our team where they can best contribute. And we're trying to do that in sprints, so not making those changes in preseason camp and hard to then try to do for any sort of job in football. Okay. I'm happy with the progress we've made. And just again, as you said, just acknowledging the fact that we lost some really good players. So we got the offensive line, quarterback meant so much to our team. Casey Reynolds, role players like Miles Stewart. I mean, there's a lot of guys to replace. But though we may not be exactly the same on offense because of personnel changes, I still feel like we can have a good run game and be a good offense. And there were enough guys this spring that stepped into those roles that did good things. That we're encouraged by that. And the quarterbacks have all competed hard. They're different. Each one of those guys is different. You see Dwayne Holman, Ethan Washington, Dale Helens, they're all very different, but all capable of doing things in our offense that you might run one more than the other. You might feel like one guy's a better passer than another, but within the system, I think any one of those guys can be our quarterback and we can be a successful offense. So a lot of it has to do with running backs and slot backs and receivers and the job that they do blocking along the offensive line that makes the biggest difference for them.
It's so hard to project Army versus like Ball State, or some of these other teams. Is Khalil Kelly back at quarterback for Ball State? That's crazy. Let's go see Ball State spring football update. Showcase slated for April 12th. Well, that already happened. Ball State spring portal transfer. Prepares for spring showcase. Do we have top 5 players from the 25 from the spring pro case? Annual spring pro case. Quarterback Khalil Kelly looked every bit as a part of starting quarterback. He appeared calm and confident. Vincent looked smooth as both a runner and passer at the presumed first. Red zone, Kelly threw 5 passes for 5 touchdowns, impressive 7-7 on drills. Last season was frustrating for Kelly after starting at quarterback for most of 2023. He moved to defensive back ahead of 2024 before moving back to the offensive line. Rotation, now back at his natural position. Kelly seems ready to make it. All right, Kelly's back. So I can't give him a high rating. I've already seen him play before back in 2023, Ball State 2023, Ball State football stats. There's just really nothing I can do with this guy. I understand they're saying he's better and he's back, but he spent a whole year playing some other positions. Samanza beat him out. When he finally got the job, he can't complete passes, threw more interceptions than touchdowns, but he does run the ball, right? Isn't that what he does? Yeah, he's a runner, and he scores touchdowns running. This dude is he's a 2, bro. He's a 2 at quarterback. We can't do nothing with that. Baylor, Sawyer Robertson. I'm giving him a 9. I'm not giving him a 10. I'm just not. I like Sawyer Robinson a lot, but I can't give him a 10. Can I? Let me double check this. He's a senior this year. How did he do last year? Baylor football stats. Come on, baby. 3,000 yards, 22. Oh my God, I got to give him a 10. I know he can run. I know he's crafty and runs as well. I think he's got the right cast. Wide receivers, Josh Cameron's still there. Did Hawkins come back? No, he lost his extra year of eligibility. Baldwin's in the NFL. Presley's still there. Triggs is coming back. Man. I'm keeping it at a 9. I'm just keeping it at a 9. That's just where it's going to be, bro. You can't get me off that. Boise State. Maddox Madsen's back. Maddox Madsen is back. Boise State football stats. Maddox can ball. 3,000 yards. Oh my God, he's just as good as everybody else. Maddox is getting a 7. I gotta give him a 7. I have to, right? It's very rare I give out 7s at the group of 5 level, but he's that good. I think he's better than the quarterbacks at fucking Alabama. What am I doing? How did Grayson James play at Boston College last year? I know he sucks, but did he play good in the second half of the season? Like, what did he do? 1,200 yards, 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Hey, he looked good. I know he's not it, but he looked good. He's no run threat. And you got Dylan Lonergan. How is Dylan Lonergan not starting over this guy? Oh, Dylan Lonergan is the kid from Brookwood. He sucks. Oh. I can't give him a 6. I gotta give him a 5. I just can't do it. Who's starting quarterback for Bowling Green right now? Drew Pine? Is Drew Pine really starting for Bowling Green? Is he really starting? Bowling Green spring game update. Don't do this. Bowling Green enjoys growth, strong bond during the spring. What does this mean? Oh, it's Eddie George too.
Download the BCSN Plus app.
Football started in Bowling Green. His head coach left for the NFL. 9 days later, former Irish player Will obviously been both named the next head coach of the Falcons. Now, showing reports with a little time to spare, PG slowly but surely put together a staff and a team for coaching problem. 5 weeks after being announced as the head coach of Bowling Green football, the first green session of the Eddie George era is in the books. The last 34 days have been chaotic at times, but ultimately productive.
We were in a state of uncertainty. There was fear, there was doubt. There was a lot of division when I got here, and it was a time for healing and truly lead with love, and say we're going to be positive about this thing and have an opportunity